morning or afternoon or indeed evening, everybody, and welcome to another Untech video, taking the complexity of computing and talking about it. So today we're going to be talking about this. Yes, there it is, the Argon Pi4 case. It's a case for a P4. A P4 is a piece of electronics which goes into this Argon1 Pi4, not to be confused with anything else. Now, when I got mine, I noticed that, as you can see here, the seal has clearly been broken, which certainly on items such as baby food and parachutes can be a sign of tampering or in some way Kabbalistic influence, but then I remembered I actually did that because this box is empty, which would be a bigger problem were it not for the fact that I were the one that had made it empty by removing the Argon Pi4. So we'll put that to one side. Note that mine came with a delightful little bag which says Geek P on it. I'm not sure, it doesn't appear in any way waterproof, that bag, but I'm sure it's excellent for the purpose for which it was intended, which we'll cover in another video. So let's get to the Argon Pi4. The Pi4 itself, let me just see if I can get hold of it here. Bollocks. Yes, the Pi4, here it is, very attractive small box, top made of metal. It's a sort of grey anodized colour, base made of plastic with a rather disappointing, base made of plastic with some cooling slots in there. But more to the point, cooling is handled by this rather nifty little temperature reducing fan, which is part of the case. And as you can see, it has componentry of the electronicals within the case itself, with holes for things there. Now, one could surmise, of course, that those holes lined up with the P. Here is a P4. This is the 8GB version, I'm told. It does not come with the Argon Pi4, but you can buy them, which makes the Argon Pi4 even more useful for it's designed for these. So let's take a look at what also is included. So just to be clear, the P4 not included, the Argon Pi4 case included. In fact, that's all there is. Is it called an Argon? Yes. Argon1 Pi4. Argon1 Pi4. Yes, very good. So there we are. There's the metal top and the plastic base. Also, you receive a small thing. Very useful, I'm sure. And finally, a smaller thing, which is also extremely useful, however, proportionally, potentially less so than the bigger thing. Here. Yeah. Okay, in the small thing, makes sense to open the small thing. And here we have some screws, a pad, and 2 foots. So let's go ahead and see how we assemble the Argon1 Pi4. So we begin with the P4 board, which does not come with the Argon1 Pi4. This P4 is not included with the Argon1 Pi4, which is not a P4. This is a P4. The P4 then we begin the P4 installation into the Argon1 Pi4 by installing the bigger thing. And the bigger thing here, it has, as you can see, a proboscis which inserts into the hurliscus thus, and lines up there very nicely with 2 HDMI sockets. There we are. Click. Yes, correct. As you can see, that then extends the HDMIs and the proboscis into a new hurliscus and 2 more HDMIs, which are still small HDMIs as opposed to the bigger HDMIs that are not on this board, which means it's somewhat irrelevant unless you want a big HDMI, and then it might be, but they're not there. Anyway, once that is there, we then go ahead and we start to assemble the P4 onto the base section. The whole kit comes with a very nice and clear installation booklet with a very sad absence of humorous language. But here we are. So first of all, we connect the Raspberry Pi to the Argon1 audio board. This is the Argon1 audio board, big thing, so it's proportionally even more useful. And stick silicon thermal pad. Silicon thermal pad, yes. Silicon thermal pad, yes, that goes onto the top of the P1/4 Argon thing. Thus, so we take our one of these, which is very good, and that will go on there. Before we get there, of course, let's check that we are in fact correct. I don't know what that's for, but it does look like a really rather excellent thing. Moving further through the booklet, we can see that that large pad has clearly been a free gift, potentially, one assumes. Yes. Yes, viewers, so here this goes to show that even an advanced viewer such as your advanced technical users such as your own dear Untech here, does sometimes have the need to conduct research, and it turns out that the thermal pad here are in fact the feet. So here's the thermal the thermal pads, not the feet, and as you can see, these will connect here to these two luggy heatsink things to provide a cushioning effect, presumably to make your Pi, which it turns out that's the pronunciation now, it's not P anymore, to make your Pi more comfortable. Yes. So there we are. And consulting the booklet once again, having installed those, we now need to go ahead and install the Pi4. No, we don't. Okay, this is very curious. Oh, I see. Right, yes. So for now, this is called the GPIO here. These pins, GPIO, and the GPIO goes into this thing here, into the GPIO Hurlus. If I just apply my spectacles, the spectacle is the tool of the myopic, as Oscar Wilde never said. And there we are. Now, you'll notice I'm not wearing a static strap, and that's because for this particular application I forgot. So there we are. The board is now installed in the GPIO. As you can see, the extension board we applied there lines up the Hurliscus and the Argon1 neatly to the holes there. And now the board is in place underneath there. The cushioning pads are giving it a comfortable life, and now we can go ahead and apply the apply this. Yes. Before we do this, we have to remove this. Now, as many of you will know, obviously, this is one of those that goes there, and on goes. There we are. And now we have the small hole for the for this, and all is good. So the other rather nice thing that my PO arrived with, courtesy, I believe, of the wonderful Geek Pi, who provided me with this fantastic device, is a screwdriver. It complements my existing screwdriver set, increasing it to over 1 now. and we to assemble this, which we don't do yet, or do we? No, we use the shorter screws, inserting it into the Pi, thus. There we are. Very good. Look at that. Look at that action. Fantastic. Okay. So, viewers, I have inserted that into the wrong one. That was just a test, of course, to check that that hole is in fact a hole. It is. There we are. That's better. Now moving on from the corner of the Pi to right here. Yes, very good. Very lovely, smooth scrolling action, much like the wonderful applications, emulation applications, we'll be putting onto this tiny computer. It's a little known fact, of course, that the Raspberry Pi is based on extremely similar technology to that which you find in 1980s satellite navigation systems, which of course were themselves based on the same technology that gave us the ZX Spectrum, probably. So, having installed those four, consulting the manual just purely for the purposes of giving you the novice user you know, warts and all, we now finalise and finish with the case here. In it goes. One, in the same way as you would have changed a car wheel back in the day when people had basic practical capabilities, go opposite ends is my preferred approach. Finishing with the third screw, the exception being the fourth screw. Okay, excellent. And finally, of course, and I'm shooting this in real time without skipping because, and that's done. And then on with the rather attractive little feet. Very important should there be any very minor flooding where the water does not reach a height of over 0.5 millimeter. That will protect your Pi from damage. And there we have it. And there we have it, viewers. The hardware side installation of the Argon1 Pi4, a super little case. Not only is it very neat and stylish, but also you'll note here a magnetized lid. Thanks to the extension board of the top here, then the Gapier's pins are now available under the little bonnet for you to look at and to appreciate, which I will do later. The this will then go into there, thus, and when this is in there, thus, then we're ready to go. So, thank you very much for watching this latest Untech video. Shit. Please do like, subscribe, and all those other things that I'm not really clear on. And I will see you again when you next watch one of the videos on YouTube that I am in. Thank you.